Hi, welcome back to educator.com. This lesson covers site syndication using RSS and Atom. With the advent of frequently updated sites such as blogs and news services, there was a need for a way to produce the most recently updated content separate from the rest of the site. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at a technology called RSS for site syndication and see how it allows us to create custom feeds for updated content. Although RSS comes in a variety of versions, they all achieve the same purpose: the ability to syndicate newer site content as it's updated. So let's take a look at what RSS means, which is a more complicated story than you'd think. There have been a number of different versions of RSS, and just about everybody who's come out with a version has come up with a different meaning for what RSS stands for. If you're the World Wide Web Consortium, it stands for RDF Site Summary, and if you're other developers, and it's called Really Simple Syndication. But again, the whole point is the same: to tag content in a way so that the most recent stuff can appear first. RSS is mainly used by specialized programs such as blog and news readers, and you can also develop a custom homepage that includes all of your favorite RSS feeds so that every time you come onto the web, the most recent information from your favorite web sources comes up. Let's take a look at how this works. Here is Google Reader, which is Google's RSS site, and it comes with a lot of subscriptions from a bunch of different web sources recommended by their staff. And one of the nice things about RSS and the technologies associated with it is that I can easily update my subscriptions. So for example, here is CNN's RSS page. It includes all of their RSS feeds. And let's say I want CNN's top stories. I can take this little RSS chip here. Sometimes it's called an XML chip or an Atom chip. And I can add it to my Google Reader. So now, here are all the top stories on Google. I can subscribe to that. And now I have access to all of CNN's current top stories. Now the beauty of this is that the next time I log in and check my Google Reader, then I can see only what's been updated since the last time I checked. One of the things about RSS is that it keeps track of, well, the reader of RSS keeps track of what was last updated, so it can bring in just the new stuff and let you see that. So there are several different formats of RSS, and we'll take a look at a couple of them here. These are all files that you can open up in a notepad or some other kind of text editor. Since these are not actually live feeds, these are just examples. But here's one called RSS1 example. And RSS1 is the version created by the World Wide Web Consortium some years ago in response to other efforts by other web developers, which have now been collectively referred to as RSS 0.9 whatever. So this is how the Web Consortium would have you do it, using namespaces to create a RSS channel. And then each channel contains a number of items. And then each item has information. So this might be a portion of an RSS feed. We see the ellipses there, which means this is really not complete. So don't try to run this in a browser or anything. But we might say that here's educator.com's RSS feed. Here's one of their updates. And here's the details about that update, that educator.com is advertising that they've got their new XML course up and running. So using RSS namespaces, which you would declare elsewhere, and specific RSS elements as defined by the Web Consortium, you could create a feed this way. Again, this is part of the Web Consortium's efforts to create a semantic web, a web where data has meaning not just to the people looking at it, but to the computers that are processing it. However, RSS1 is not the version that's caught on the most widely because it's a little bit more complex than some of the others. Another file you'll find is called RSS2, and RSS2 was developed as an XML language, but separately from the efforts of the World Wide Web. And this is one that a lot of authors prefer to use because it's just a little bit simpler. We say here's RSS version 2.0, and we create a channel element. This is the whole thing here. And rather than breaking out the channel from the list of items, from the specific items, we just have it all in here. There's a title, a description, a link, and then a specific item that's published within that channel. And then you might have more than one item element listed here as you go. Now, if you're a programmer and hoping to create an RSS news reader, you don't know what people are going to publish in because they could be publishing in anything. They could be publishing in RSS1, RSS2, or a newer technology called Atom, which is also XML-based, but again, is independent of the Web Consortium. And we have an Atom example here. And really, this is the same information, just put in a slightly different format. And depending on what it is you feel you need to get out of your RSS feed, you have a number of different ways you can format it. And some people feel that Atom processes are a little more advanced. They can extract information in a more complex and rich way and make better use of it. For, again, everybody's trying to push this idea of let's make the web intelligent and let's provide the information that the computers need to make the web more intelligent. So we can include author information here in the Atom feed, for example. And then we have entries and when it's updated and summaries and kind of all the same information in a slightly different format. As an author, you have your choice of which one you want to use or not to use any of them at all. And as a programmer, if you're trying to create a reader, you have to support all of them, which makes it a little complex. RDF recently has fallen on somewhat hard times as larger, more popular sites such as Facebook, for example, has kind of downplayed their RSS feeds in favor of a more proprietary format. Some people are in favor of this, some people are not. Some people say it's more convenient just to have one company running their own feeds. Other people are in favor of more open formats such as various RSS. So in this lesson, we've understood that the RSS acronym has a lot of different meanings to a lot of different people. We learned that whatever the meaning, it's for site syndication, meaning that you are providing updated content in a way that people can extract just what they want to see, what they haven't seen yet, and kind of see that separately from the rest of your site. And we've seen that it comes in a number of different formats, different versions of RSS and RSS type technologies that have appeared over the years and have varying levels of popularity. Thank you for visiting educator.com.